Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing fine. So we are going to study today Harrod-Domar model. In the previous section or class, we studied about beyond the Solow model, and in this class we are going to start with our new model, that is Harrod-Domar. So according to this model, economic growth is the process of one thing, that is capital accumulation, and there are two factors which determine that capital accumulation. So what are the factors now? First is the saving rate, which is denoted by a small s, and which is the second thing. Okay, I'll write the formula also here, s equal to capital S upon y. Second is capital output ratio, which is also denoted by c bar, and if I tell you the formula, it is easy, capital upon output. Okay, so these were the two factors in which economic growth is dependent upon. That is basically it's the part of capital accumulation itself. Okay, so as you can see that saving rate is the ratio of saving and income. And what does this imply? You already know your saving rate. Now we will talk about capital output ratio. It indicates that how many unit of capital are needed to produce one more unit of output. You can imply from the mathematical implication too. Okay, you can just easily see what does it imply. Okay, so now if I want to write the capital accumulation equation, how will I write? Capital accumulation means adding up to the capital. Okay, so capital accumulation equation. So how will I write? First of all, there will be change, so it will be delta k, and second thing will be what? C bar is constant. So what will be the change in? The change will be in the income. So that due to change in income, how much your capital is changing. You can also tell this C bar as 1 upon MPK. It is the same thing which 1 upon MPK does. Okay, but you won't say 1 upon MPK. This is only just for the reference. Okay, so now we will come on to the investment part. So what is the investment? We all know that investment refers to addition to stock of capital, and you also know that in two sector economic model, saving must be equal to investment. We have already studied saving was equal to SY. You can take from here also. And what is investment? Investment is change in capital stock itself. So if I want to write it again, you can write it at C bar, which is equal to this C bar delta Y, and this implies that this is S upon C bar is equal to delta Y upon 5. So this represents your growth rate of the economy, delta Y upon Y, and it can be clearly seen that it is directly related with the saving rate, that if saving rate increase, your growth rate also increase, and inversely related with the capital output ratio. And this thing was also supported by the Solow model itself also. He also said that by increasing the saving, you will increase, it will have a growth, though it was only level effect, but there will be a growth. Okay, so given the capital output ratio, which is considered as an accelerator, investment is year T. Investment is year T is written over this. I'm taking now investment is in year T. Now what will it be equal to? It will be equal to your this. Okay, this is equal to this and this is equal to this. So you can write it as this. Okay, this is the investment in year T. Okay, so now we will see how we see this one, how we change this one. We will change the delta Y. So to change it, expected additional flow of output is equal to the difference between expected demand for output that is denoted by xt, and actual output in the last time period, that will be y t minus 1. Okay, so I can write this delta y as the difference, which is the difference of it. First it will be the expected demand for output. Okay, that we are expecting this demand to be in this year, and the actual demand which was there at the last year at t minus 1, because we don't know the actual demand of this t period which we are living in, so it will be expected, and we already know the previous one, that what was the data, so it is actual one. Okay, so this is actual and that is expected. So now we will see the multiplier effect. How this is basically the multiplier only here, and but we will change it itself also. I will modify equation one more time. Okay. So through the multiplier effect, actual demand in year t, that is YT, will be equal to investment time multiplier. Okay. Now we are seeing the multiplier effect. So we will see the multiplier effect on the income we are having today. Okay, this is the actual income, actual demand in year t, and what will it be equal to? First of all, it will be multiplier. Now, why I have written 1 upon saving rate is because you can also take it from that you have studied the multiplier before also. It was 1 upon MPC, the multiplier, and it will be equal to 1 upon MPS. That is why I have written 1 upon S, small s here, into IT. Okay, so this is the multiplier and this is the investment, and this is the actual demand in the year T. Okay, and so now we have already calculated this IT here, so you can further write expand this equation as this: C bar xt minus yt minus 1 and this. Okay, and further you can take C bar outside. This is C by x and this is xt minus yt minus 1. So now what we are going to do, as the author did, he divided by xt. He divided the whole equation by xt. So what will happen? Yt minus xt is equal to C bar upon S xt minus yt minus 1 upon xt. Also take care here, listen to me here carefully. He has not taken the base year, previous year as the base year, and it is not always necessary that you have to take the previous year only as the base year. Okay, it is not necessary, since this author has taken this current year as a base year. Okay, expected thing, so it is not necessary, okay, that you are thinking that it will be always previous year only. So this is not necessary always. So now what you can write this as, this is considered as your growth, that your actual minus, expected minus actual upon expected. So this is your growth rate, that how much it has grown, expected growth rate basically, because this is also expected and this is also expected. So this is your expected growth rate. So it is your C by S and GT cap. Cap means that this is your expected growth rate. Okay. So now if I want to see whether the expectation will be realized or not, how do I know that? I know from when do expectation get realized? Only when your actual become to expected, then your expectation was right and it was the right anticipation which you did. So at here also, this is actual and this is expected. So expectation will be only realized when your xt is equal to yt. Okay, actual equal to accepted. Therefore it follows that expected growth rate, that is g cap t, must be equal to s upon c, because if it is 1 it will go cross and this will be s upon c bar. Okay, when your expectation gets realized, and it is also known as warranted rate of growth, warranted rate of growth or warranted growth rate. Okay, when your expectation gets realized and your actual is equal to your expectation, so you get the warranted rate growth. Okay, warranted rate of growth. So now we are going to define the actual growth rate. It is not cap because it is actual. So actual will be So here we will take now here actual terms. Earlier we took here expected ones. Now here it will be actual. And what was the actual one? YT. So YT minus 1 upon YT. Okay. So this is your actual growth rate, and from all the equation we have done, we can derive out a relationship between actual growth rate and warranted growth rate. Actual and warranted growth rate. And you don't have to actually derive this relation, because in the books also it is directly given, so you don't have to, you just have to remember the relation, that this is the relation. You don't need the derivation of it. Okay. And also if you try also, you won't find out how it has came up, so there is no use. So it gave directly in the book that it will be equal to this, and there was no derivation in the book. Okay, so this is the relationship between actual and warranted growth rate. And if you want to see this equation, it follows that expected growth rate will be equal to the actual growth rate only if the warranted growth rate is S upon C bar. Okay, so we can conclude two things from this equation. Okay, this is the implication basically. So now we have to examine what will happen if expected growth rate of output deviates from the warranted growth rate. Okay, so it is very easy and basic. If as an investor, if I anticipate more than the warranted growth rate, then actual growth rate will exceed even high expected growth rates, because if I am expecting that there will be high prices in the market, so I will invest because of the profit. And if there contrary to that, if I see that the expected growth rate is lower than the warranted growth rate, then the actual growth rate will also fall short even lower expected growth rate. Okay, he will fall short if I anticipate there will be going to be decrease in the prices, so I will start off selling, and the growth rate will start falling. And this which I just said, the 2 point, it is also known as Harrod's instability. Okay, so now your Harrod-Doman model is finished. I hope you like this video. If you find it helpful, you can share it with your friends also. So thank you guys for watching.